Target acquired.
Eagle 1, first strike. You have permission to engage the target.
Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Welcome back, everybody. Time to clock in for the day shift. All right, cool, man. We're here. We're live, 5x5, making it happen today. How about that? It's good. We're doing it. Let me get these monitors set up. I've got all kinds of stuff going on here. There we go. All right. So, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It has been my pleasure to have you here today. Give me 1 second. I'm still getting set up, guys. I was on a panel, hanging out, having a great time, and it was fun. It was exciting. Could have been a little better, but things just sort of have a way of getting there, kind of getting out of control, to be honest. And so I'm gonna, as I get ready to go and get set up, lit up, ready to make things happen. Hope everybody is doing well today. Last night was awesome. It was a great show. Halsey English was a good guest. It's unfortunate he had to leave a little early, but that let us get into some other stuff. And I think Lindsay got angry with me because, well, I'm me, and that's probably all it's really necessary for someone to be angry with me, to be honest. And that's okay. So if you have been anxiously waiting, I'm sorry that I'm so distracted. I am getting everything set up. I think that's all set up I'm going to do right now. We'll move on. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I see out in the crowd we have Damien, our resident parkour guy. Again, I want to mention Damien has a channel. It's actually really pretty good. I don't necessarily agree with his take that parkour fixes everything in life, but that's okay. I don't have to agree with that, and that's fine. Seriously, Shelby is in the house. He's one of our top mods. Angel Berber, welcome back, sir. Good to see you. Sarah the Raging Tomato, how are you? Good to see you in the chat. TVT, the Vengeful Truther, in the house. Welcome, sir. Champ McCorkle, good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Met him at DebateCon. He's a total Chad. Ladies in the chat, when we get any in there, we'll have to watch out because that dude is a badass. Mr. Boulay and the Department of Numismatics is in the house. Agropolis is in the house. Great to see you. Agropolis actually is the correct way to say that. I remember that now. Everyone, make sure you hit that like on your way in. Everybody, make sure that you subscribe if you haven't. And if you are not a member, please consider becoming a member. It is a great way to support the channel. If you don't want to, that's fine too. And now this is where I have to deliver my standard grift speech, and I always forget it. As a matter of fact, Mr. Boulay, using wasting a massive amount of time on me, has done me a favor. Let me see if I can find it. I had it in here. There we go. And he has made me a very, very special picture, I guess you would say, video, whatever. And I like it a lot. It's really cool. So we're going to throw that up on the screen right now. Got to find the right monitor. There we go. So you guys just go ahead and remember. Remember, it is time to grift. The grift must flow. The grift must flow. Agripolis donated $9.99 for the grift. Thank you, sir. Remember that $10 and up will trigger the TTS, and the computerized female Australian or English voice will read your chat. It's about as close as I get to degeneracy, so you'll have to bear with me on that one. So yeah, we're going to have a great time today. We're going to talk a little bit about money, and we're going to talk about buying businesses. And one of the things we're going to talk about today is a couple of the live deals that I have going on. It looks like maybe I'm freezing a little bit. The weather here is terrible, and I may not be quite getting the bandwidth that I'm used to getting. So if I freeze or whatever, it is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Once again, Agropolis donated $9.99 for the grift. Thank you, sir, very much. That works perfect. And again, yeah, it's great. It's a good time. And so Sirius Shelby is in class in San Antonio, I think, where it is actually cold there for a change. And he is doing A school. He is a Navy guy, going to be all the Navy will let him be, I guess. I don't know. So, all right. So let's talk about this deal that I've got going on. Well, first, let's talk about some of the stuff that's going on out in the States politically. I think it's very interesting. It's 25 degrees. Great. That's awesome. I think it's very interesting to take a look at what's going on in the nation, where we actually have someone for a change that's actually going out and auditing federal organizations, looking for the oversight, looking for the missing money, looking for what is all of this stuff being spent on? Where are our taxpayer dollars going? Last night, if you were in the show, you heard me talk about how with Halsey, about how it is ridiculous to me that American taxpayers are paying for every country in the world. Every country in the world is supported by the American taxpayer. And to me, that is perfectly terrible. That I honestly can't see any reason in the world why that would be the case. The American taxpayer, which includes probably pretty much everybody in this chat, is probably an American taxpayer. And if you're not, why not? You should pay taxes. But it's very interesting that we send money to every country on the fucking planet. We don't demand an accounting of what that money's spent for. We don't demand an accounting of who does what. Realistically, it's the worst thing ever, honestly. And we deserve better. As American taxpayers, we deserve to know what our money is being spent on. We deserve to know why our taxes are so high. Now, I understand that the rest of the world doesn't think that they're high because they're not us. They're not Americans. They don't understand individual freedom. They don't understand things the way we understand things. 30% of your income going to the government is fucking insane. It's insane. 20% of your income, 20 cents out of every dollar. Just literally turn our money into Australian money, because that's what we're doing. Well, actually, Canadian money. So basically, we're 30 cents out of every dollar is going to taxes for the average American. That basically turns our dollar into Canadian money. Of course, they have a higher tax rate, so that's irrelevant. That makes it even worse. But why? Why is that? That's terrible. There's no reasoning behind this. Social programs. I like social programs. I like social programs that are done by my church, by the local school board, to getting together and having a raffle or a waffle or whatever the fuck they do. These days, I don't know. I would support that. I do support that. I support, and I actually went and all right, I'm going to tell a story. When my wife was pregnant with our first son, we went to a church and school sponsored. It was a church school, but that's irrelevant. That's immaterial. We went and they had a big baby stuff exchange. It's like a flea market or whatever, bazaar, whatever, where parents whose kids had outgrown their toys, their clothes, their all the stuff, they didn't need it anymore, so they would take it and they would sell it to other people like us. And we bought some baby clothes, we bought some furniture, we bought all of these little things at a lower price. The church made a little bit of money. The parents made some money back on their investment. Everybody was happy. That is honestly the way I feel that it should be. It ought be the case that my tax dollars are not used to support local social endeavors, programs. No, I don't agree that we should be or ought be funding the government. By we, I mean the government, right? Like I want to make really clear, I think that you and I, as private citizens in our communities, ought be taking money out of our wallet and giving it to churches and giving it to local responsible organizations to feed the hungry, to house the homeless, to help women who become, they get kicked out of their house, their husband's an asshole, or they move across country and they get here and the job didn't happen, so they need a place to stay for a few weeks. Yes, and my community does that. I'm going to be honest with you. My community, we have churches, we have various organizations that are local, that use local funding, not tax dollars, to help these people out. And this is a very important distinction. I do not believe that it ought to be the case that my federal tax dollars should go to California to pay for the homeless problem in California that California has instigated and aided and abetted. Okay? I don't believe that it is the case that I'm somehow responsible for that. Especially when California has gone out of the way to villainize every organization that would normally help those people. California goes out of its way to make churches seem evil. They go out of their way to make to cause private organizations a lot of trouble because the government doesn't like the competition, and this is a serious problem. This is not the way it should be. So I kind of got off my point there, but as taxpayers, so much of your money, so much of your income goes far away. Why are we giving England money? Why are we giving, for example, Germany, France, fucking Denmark, Finland? Why? Newfoundland. That's why I was trying to go. Why are we giving these countries money? because that is that us giving them money allows them to have the social programs that people claim we should have in America. That's why those countries can have universal health care. That's why they can have all of these feel-good social programs, because they've subsidized their defense to us, and we give them money. We prop up their economies through American tax dollars. In return for that, we get to pay additional tax dollars every time you want to buy a German car or a Japanese car or a British car, because all of those countries have tariffs on the goods that we buy. Correct, Mikey Ball. A lot of those countries don't even have 20 million in population. And so we're having a real problem. So I'm having a real problem with this. I just fundamentally have a problem with the way our government has handled it up until this point. Now, I love the fact, and I think you should too, that Donald Trump and Elon Musk have gone in and said, no, we're going to account for every dollar. Why is $10 million going to this slush fund that one politician has access to, and none of that money's ever gone anywhere that it was claimed that it would go? Why is that? I love that. I love the fact that that's happening. I love the fact that they're having hearings right now today, and in a few weeks, it's all going to be water under the bridge. Right. So that was funny. Yeah, we don't actually need Afghanistan doesn't need us to buy condoms because they're filthy beasts. I mean, I'm sorry, that's bad. I shouldn't say that. They're not filthy beasts. They don't need condoms. So anyway, at the end of the day, our money, and understand that I'm equating my money and your money with our labor, the sweat of our brow, the time away from my family, the mental energy that I expend to earn that money. And I reduce this down to, would I take folding money out of my pocket and put it in that person's hand? And the answer is no. I like the English people. I think they're perfectly fine people. I think they're very nice. But I also think that there's no fucking way in hell that I'm going to take money out of my pocket to provide them things that I don't have or that my neighbors don't have. And call me crazy, but I just believe that that's the way that's the way it is. That's the way it ought to be. I don't see any reason why it needs to be any different. You can't convince me otherwise, to be honest with you. And even if you could convince me otherwise, I think that you would, even if you attempted, let me rephrase, even if you attempted to convince me otherwise, at the end of the day, you fail at it, because what's really gonna happen is you're going to convince yourself that you're actually the one that's wrong. This is the way it is. Now, back to the subject of the day. So I do believe that everything that Trump and Elon are doing needs to be done.
Mr. Boulay in the Department of Numismatics donated $10. Super chat. Don't mind Grid folks. He finished his 2024 income taxes and had to pay. He's also hungry and needs a Snickers and a nap. Chocolate bar.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. I haven't actually finished my taxes yet, but I'm working on it. And by me, I mean my wife is working on it. My wife no longer allows me to view the taxes because I get really aggravated about it. And because my wife is a W-2 employee, there's a limit to the amount of deductions that we can reasonably have. Even though technically I have a business, I have a couple of them. Obviously the rental property. However, there's a couple of catch-22s there. I'm not going to bother getting into the rental property, some of the construction stuff, and a couple other things. But we get some deductions, but not nearly enough. And at the end of the day, I mean, every year, dude, it's like a fucking $250,000 that the government soaks out of me. And if you ever think that, so here's a real thing: the people that don't mind taxes are the people that don't have to pay taxes, and that is like 90% of the country. 90% of the country gets a refund back. The government sends you a small amount of your wages back, and you're fucking happy about it. Let me throw this out there, right? Like, so between Social Security and income tax, the past 10 years, we've averaged about $250,000 a year paid in. The government refunds us about $90,000. Now, I don't know. You all seem like wonderful, fantastic human beings that are lovely and just would shirt off your back kind of things. But would you take a third of your income? So let's just say you didn't even make that much. Let's say you made $90,000. Are you willing and okay with cutting a check for 30 grand to the government so that Afghanis can have condoms? You okay with that? You good with it? This is really the line of thinking that you need to adopt. Anytime someone starts talking about taxes or spending programs, social programs, when they're reviewing the budget, we have to get a budget signed, or we're going to have this big omnibus bill or whatever. Anytime you hear that as an American, you should be very concerned, especially if you make over like 25 grand a year, because you're about to get fucked. You're going to get bent over, no lube, straight up raw, and you're going to get fucked the way it is. Now, I know the detractors will say that, well, they do use a little lube because what they do is, the government has set it up so that your employer sends you that money before you ever see it. So you don't feel it. It's like a long, slow, steady ass fucking. Okay, almost allow that. But you're still getting fucked. You're still getting fucked. And it's still going to hurt. You're going to be sore in the morning. And that's actually the insidiousness of the IRS. One of the reasons why the IRS is such an evil organization is not that it demands $30,000 from you. The insidiousness of it is it demands $3,000 a month from you, and you don't and you're okay with it. Right? When you negotiate a salary, you negotiate that salary, let's say it's $75,000. Well, what you really negotiated was a $50,000 salary. It's the way it is. Yeah. Yeah, Anson Knoll says he's not okay with it, but they don't give him a choice. That's right. You're getting fucked. I mean, you're getting bent over. And Anson actually probably has some really unique viewpoints on this, because you know, he's actually tried to run for government before, and so he's, you know, he's one of them. But yeah, look, guys, you're just not going to get there from here. Agropolis, no, it's not actually accurate. I gotta founded because of gun control. The entire reason in school, but the actual reason that we went to war was because the British, in addition to quartering soldiers in homes, which was, as you can imagine, suboptimal, the other thing that they started doing was they required that all powder and shot, which were things that men used every day to go out and hunt for food, and they wanted a loaded gun around to defend themselves and all of that. The British government said, you can't have powder and shot in your home. It has to be kept in a town powder house. And where all the powder, shot, flint, steel, all of that kept in one place. You can keep the rifle because it's useless without the ammunition, but all the ammunition is kept, and swords. I believe that they kept the swords in this, just like they do on ships, right? They don't let the men run around with guns tucked in their waistbands on the ship. And yeah, they didn't let you run around with guns in polite society or even impolite society. So the British basically said you can't have powder and shot, and the citizens, the folk, said, this is bad, because at that point, even if they wanted to, they couldn't stand up to the English, right? They couldn't. You can't protest soldiers quartering in your house when the soldiers are the only ones that have guns. And you can't you can't do anything about them slaughtering your cow for food for the army if you don't have a gun. So that was the actual impetus behind the Revolutionary War. Now, it's a much better story to tell school children that it was over the price of tea, which is where, by the way, we get the slang that has nothing to do with the price of tea in China. Anyway, yeah. There we go. Anson Knowles says, my perspective on taxation is unique because I've spent the last 2 decades studying and practicing accounting. My stacks exist because of wasteful tax laws. I am the cost of compliance. Anson, you should come up, buddy. Did I send you the link? I'll send you the link. I'm going to send you the link. We're going to get it. We're going to get Anson fucking Knowles up here. Especially after all the shitty talk last night in chat. So let me. He's probably at work, and he's probably gonna be like, "Oh, I can't come up. I can't come up." Yeah, there he goes. Anson can't come up. Anybody? We can start having guests come up. We're deep enough into my rant that we can have guests come up. If you would like to come up, you need to simply ask a moderator. They will vet you. If we haven't talked to you before, you will need to take a minute, talk to the moderator. They're going to make sure that you're not going to drop your pants on camera or anything, and we'll come up. In the meantime, I'm going to kind of start heading. We're going to start talking about some business, and yeah, you're deep into a 1099-B. That's legit. Are you an auditor, Anson? Is that what you do now? Do you audit? Are you an auditor? Not for the IRS, obviously, but are you private auditor? So as I've talked about multiple times before lately, we're looking to buy 3 businesses. One of those businesses is an epoxy company. They do concrete floors, garage floors, decks, or not decks, I guess, but patios, walkways, all that kind of stuff. Patio, whatever. And it was a deal where the ownership was a partnership, and it was not a happy partnership. So the one partner decided that since he had such a great offer from us, he would approach someone and borrow the money to buy his partner out, and he did that. I don't think he told his partner that there was an offer on the table, an existing offer on the table. That's neither here nor there. I don't care. In the meantime, over the past week and a half, that fellow has gone out and he has been re-energized. He's closing deals left and right. He's got work for like the next month and a half. He's doing everything that makes us want to buy the business. The other problem is that when we looked at the business in 2024, the earnings were down significantly over 2023 and 2022. The problem with this is first of all, a bank may not loan on it, even on an SBA loan. They don't like it when they see a dip in earnings. There has to be a good story behind it. We'll get into that in a minute. So we have a dip in earnings, which affects the valuation of the company. We have a change in outlook of the seller, and we've actually had a change of sellers plus a change of outlook of the remaining seller. And so to me, that means that this deal might blow up. Right? This deal could realistically go away. The owner could just simply decide that he doesn't want to sell. Game over. Don't want to play anymore. And if that happens, now, no big deal. We just go find another business, do some more due diligence. It's not that big a deal. Honestly, at this point, if I were to get a call today and he say, well, he just doesn't want to sell, I'd be like, okay, that sucks that we spent a little bit of money and time to get into this, but we're not that deep and it's okay. We'll move on. We'll find the next deal. No problem. The problem is there is a very real potential for us to get started through the due diligence. Now, for those of you who are not familiar, due diligence means that we get their financial records. We hire an outside accounting firm, and that accounting firm goes through all of the records with a fine-tooth comb, and they render an opinion. They render a statement on that. Some of which will be opinion as to the health of the company based on the facts and evidence. Some of it will be facts like they made X amount, which is X percentage down or up from the previous year, or there'll be a lot. The accountants will do what accountants do, and they'll give us a bunch of information. That costs money. A company this size, it's probably going to cost me $5-10 grand to have that information done. Now that's just part of doing the deal. That's just part of it. And obviously we would be the ones shouldering that cost Fine, no problem. That's just part of it. But if we were to get through and everything checks out, and we're ready to write the check, and the owner comes back and says, yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't feel like I want to sell, guys. I think I'm gonna keep it. I'm sorry I wasted all your time. Well, first of all, it's gonna be a fucking lawsuit because I've spent a bunch of fucking money. We've got, at that point we'll have we have a letter of intent in place. We will have an offer letter in place when we start doing a due diligence. And if the deal blows up because they just don't want to sell it after we've spent all that money, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. We're going to have to sue them, get our money back, or they'll have to write it. Well, I mean, honestly, it would behoove them just to write us a big check, but they won't want to do that. And so we'll end up having to sue them. That's going to cost more money. It's going to be tough. It's going to be rough. So, and there's a little bit of risk, right? But we, obviously the number one thing that we want right now is, because we know right now that there is reluctance to sell, we have to have ironclad documentation that this deal is going to go forward, or we might as well pull the ripcord now and just bail out. I mean, there's just no point. We'll just move on to the next business. I'm already looking for the next business. I look every day. So I guess the point of it is that you always have to be willing to walk away from the deal. But once you're in the deal and there are consequences, you need to make very sure that those consequences you can live with, right? Like if we did get all the way through to the end of the deal, and the guy just and we get all the way to the end of the deal, and the guy's like, yeah, I just don't know, I don't want to sell it. If he can't articulate a reason besides I just don't want to sell it now, and we've spent all of this money, that was bad. He, obviously we can't prove at what point he became bad faith, but that's, he wasn't, we've got to do something about that. And you have to prepare yourself for that. You have to mentally prepare yourself that the deal is going to blow up. Moreover, you need to be willing to walk away from the deal. I literally told the broker yesterday that while he was trying to talk about, outlook and personalities and the way this guy's feeling, and how the now sole owner is all re-energized and shit. For me, that's great. That means he's going to make me some money. He's going to get some deals in place. Everything's going to be gravy as long as the deal goes through. And if the deal isn't going to go through, I need to know now before I spend the money, because after we go through and spend that money, it's going to get ugly if things don't work out. Is that a bullshit stance? No, I don't think it is. I think that's the exact stance I need to take, and I'm going to stand by that. On the other side, we have another company we're looking at buying, and this is a much larger company. It has more employees. It does more business. It does a lot of volume. That company, I swear, if this deal gets done in 25, I will be fucking amazed. Like crazy. Literally every single time we ask for anything, it's not like most of the time, the way this should go is you ask for something like, hey, I need the statements from March to August from X year. I just want to look at them or you just pick some random shit. You're like, hey, I just need this stuff. And they get it to you, right? They'll just be like, Um, yeah, so sorry, I got distracted. You ask for some information and they get it to you within a couple of days, maybe a week, or they'll say, hey, that's something that we've got to put together because we don't have it on hand. We've got to ask our accountant for it, or whatever it's going to be. We'll have it for you then. I've never come across a situation where it was weeks for every request. Now, there are some things here, obviously it's that time of year where people get colds and they're out of office, and flu goes around, whatever, I don't know, and they've got the guy's accountant has retired. He's had to get a different accountant that is accounting firm that was recommended by his former accountant. And so there's some delay there because that new firm has to familiarize themselves with all of the old data. I promise you, like it's February. If we get this deal done in September, I would be fucking shocked. So, and it's going to be, I will be shocked if the deal gets done. Now, part of it is I don't think the owner is particularly motivated to sell. He has contracts through next year. So he doesn't, it's not like he needs to get out. He's making money every day. He's not particularly motivated to close the deal quickly. He's retiring. I don't think he actually wants to retire. I think he wants to stay involved in the business. I think he wants to be, I don't know how to put this, but I don't think that he's motivated to get out of the company much at all, to be honest with you. So that's all of that, and you got to be willing to walk away from any deal. I would walk away from that deal right now. I've got about $5-6 grand in it, just in letters from attorneys and filings and all of that. I probably have somewhere between $5 and $7 grand in this deal right now, and I would walk away. And literally, if the least little thing, and I'm ready to walk away from this deal, and we'll go find something else. I look for things every day. Where you get in trouble is when you're not willing to walk away. When it's like a business that you really, really want, or you really, really, you're really, really wrapped around the axle about that specific business because you like the location, you like the people, you like the town, you like what the fuck ever. And I'm willing to walk away at any point. Yes, sunk costs are unrelated to the decision to buy. However, your sunk cost needs to be understood, and you need to be willing to walk away and just leave it. Just fuck it up. It doesn't matter. The decision to buy right now is honest. I want to buy both businesses. I really, really want to buy this larger business. I just don't see it progressing very fast. I think by the time we're done with fees, we're going to be 30 grand in it. I think so. It might be a little less, but I think we're going to be between attorneys. Once the accountants are done with Q of E and all of that, once the Q of E is done, once all the accountant stuff is done, the lawyers write the contracts. I think we're going to be 30 grand into it, but it's worth it. It's worth it. I think we can get, we can talk about earnings really quick, right? Like, I think SDE I think the discretionary earnings probably in the $400,000-$500,000 a year range. So you know, that makes it worth it for me. And that's with a lot of stuff baked in, and we're buying, actually we're going to buy the property as well, so that's another deal. I would be a good strip club owner. It's best not to sample the product if you are in a vice industry. Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. I probably would be a good strip club owner or bar owner. I don't drink, so I'd be the best bar owner ever. Sit over there and drink coffee like Wyatt Earp. Yeah. Yeah. So does anybody want to come up and chat for the day? Maybe not. Maybe Anson Knowles is too busy. He pussed out on me. Poor guy. Poor lad. Which is okay. So, yeah. Can I claim those losses at the end of the year? Honestly, there's probably a way that I could, but I don't know that part of the tax code very well. That's a question for the accountants. I don't. Corporate taxes are different than personal taxes. Anson Knowles, talk about Trump's massive deficit spending tax cut bill. MSNBC told you that he is going to ruin our economy with the reckless tax cuts. Sure, man, that's exactly what's going to happen. Taxes on realized versus unrealized gains. So I don't even know how you would tax unrealized gains, right? I don't know. That's I get into with the tax, especially corporate tax code. I don't get into that very much. Yeah. Yeah, that's true, Raging Patriot. Nobody teaches you about the tax code. South Africa is very interesting, Anson Knowles. South Africa has, and correct me if I'm wrong, they've basically said that they're going to seize the property of white South Africans, and there's nothing they can do about it. Am I wrong about that? Where is Chris when I need him? Where is that guy? So I don't know. Got a video that just came in. Let's check this bad boy out. I hadn't watched it yet. Let's see what this is. Let's see what this is, ladies and gentlemen.
Dear content creators, I hope this message finds you well. I'm reaching out with an urgent,
Glenn.
critical concern that directly affects the future of content creation, online livelihoods, and fair monetization on platforms like YouTube. As creators who depend on the platforms for their income, exposure, and success, we must collectively address the growing threat of AI technology. AI technology is increasingly being used to manipulate online environments in ways that directly impact content creators. One of the most pressing dangers is the use of AI bots that can infiltrate channels, make them appear more successful or popular than they really are. These bots can artificially infiltrate subscriber counts, views, likes, and interactions, creating an environment of fake success. Not only does this undermine the integrity of content creation, but also distorts the way platforms like YouTube rank and reward creators. Even more concerning is the potential for an AI-driven attack that targets specific creators, either to ruin their reputation, disrupt their monetization, or silence them completely. With the ability to manipulate algorithms and evade detection, AI can be weaponized by bad actors who have nefarious motives. These motives may include anything from a personal vendetta to a politically driven agenda. In such cases, content creators may find themselves unjustly demonetized, deplatformed, or penalized without even knowing the true cause behind it. YouTube's current system, which relies on complex AI processes for determining content visibility, monetization, and even status of a channel, is susceptible to these AI manipulations. If you've ever felt that your channel was unfairly targeted, demonetized, or even removed, it's possible that the underlying cause is an AI bot interference that bypass platform safeguards. This is no different from when we challenge erroneous credit reporting from the credit bureau. Just because an algorithm or an automated system says something doesn't mean it's right or correct. We have to be vigilant in ensuring that AI's unchecked influences does not undermine our livelihoods. What we need now is a united voice to call for transparency and accountability. Content creators, tech companies, governments must come together to ensure that AI processes are auditable and secure, and most importantly, just as we ensure for the right to challenge inaccurate credit reports, we must demand the right to audit AI systems that affect our livelihood. Only through measures like these, we can ensure content creation remains a fair, open, and transparent industry. I also am encouraging everyone to take action by signing a petition on change.org that advocates for an AI transparency, fairness, and the right for content creators to challenge these systems. By adding your name to this petition, we can push for a much needed change in how AI affects our online livelihoods. You can find the petition in the link in the description below. I urge you, as a fellow content creator, to join me in raising awareness on this issue. If you've ever felt that you've been unfairly penalized or targeted by an AI-driven system, share your story. Together, we can work together towards a solution where we regain control of our content, our success, and our right to a fair monetization. Thank you for your time and your consideration. We have many differences, but on this issue, let's stand united in safeguarding the future of content creation.
Well, that was interesting. That just came through. Got a urgent PM on that, and wanted to see what was up with that. That's pretty interesting. Fairly interesting. So yeah, what an interesting deal to talk about. What's up, Michelle? I just played Glenn's video. It's very interesting. Correct. More regulation will result in less freedom. That is accurate. So, yeah. Very good. Very true. Michelle, would you like to come up? You obviously have a key, so you can just come on up if you want. AI taxes. That's probably true. Oh, you can't right now? That's fine. That is totally cool. You're listening today? All right. All right. Well, we've talked about taxes. We've talked about a little bit about how I'm buying my businesses and how that's going to work out, where we're at with that, things to look for. One of the interesting things I think to look for when we start talking about whether or not you want to buy a business is whether you're going to be an operator and participate in the business you buy, or whether you are going to be a remote owner. And I tend to kind of go for a version of that. Hey, Arikar Oak, good to see you. Welcome to the show today. Invaded Greenland and Imperius finally admitted he's just a paralegal. No, not that much, but pretty close. Yeah, absent owners can be fun. It can also be a nightmare. I personally, I'm a mixture of that. I like to own businesses I don't need to be there every day for, but I also tend to be very hands-on in the actual running of the business, such as I tend to be hands-on if someone needs to be fired. I want to be there for that. If someone needs to be, if we're hiring, I tend to like to be involved in the hiring process. Not always actually hiring people, although that is certainly an option. It's kind of an interesting thing to me. Private equity investment, yeah, for sure, that's true. I'm just there for the tears. That's true. That's right. I'm just there for the emotionality. I guess we've just to maybe change speeds as we get into the second hour of the program. One of the things that's been bandied about lately across the internet is this idea of what I would consider puritanical viewpoints. And I've talked about this before. I think that while I 100%, while I 100% believe that there are and need to be standards, the reality is that personal freedoms are personal freedoms for a reason. And if a dude wants to be a Chad and go out and bang a bunch of chicks, I think that's not the best thing for him. But certainly I've been there once, and I'm not going to throw stones at that. If a woman wants to go out and be more or less a whore, okay, I'm going to throw rocks a little bit here and there from afar, because it's not really any of my business. But at the same time, there seems to be a very puritanical viewpoint going around, where if you don't agree with everything from my viewpoint, however fucked up that is, or you don't agree with every portion of my religious viewpoint, you're fucked as well. I think that's odd. That's just me. DebateCon was a great example of how I'm around I'm around a bunch of degenerates, and doesn't bother me. Our car Oak says we threw down every moral norm. It's pretty normal. We are realigning. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. See, and one of the things I generically reject, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I generically reject the idea of a sorry guys, I'm getting a bit of a headache. It's hard for me to focus. Give me 1 second. Dogmatic faith is a part of human nature. We build models for how the world is supposed to work and become rigid in our thinking around social issues. Puritanical behavior is natural. Interesting. That's very interesting. I would not have gone there, but I see your point, Anson Knowles. I'm not going to super disagree with you. I apologize, guys. I have to check my phone. Yeah. Okay. Looks like my buddy Fabian Liberty is going to have a great stream tonight. So you guys all need to tune in for that. I may see if I can be part of that. That would be great. Hydrate. Yeah. I have been, but the weather change has just really jacked me up. We went from 40 degrees to 9 degrees, and I've got kind of a headache. It's all right. Utilities dream sold as part of the goal. Yeah, okay. It was just social norm. Puritanism is just social norm imposition. Degenerate will shame you for shaming whores, for example. Anson Knowles thinks Scott is better than Andrew Wilson. Maybe. I like Scott a lot. Scott is very good. Scott and I have very good conversations. So. I also like Rob Noor a lot. Rob Noor has got to be I think that's why Rob and Scott are kind of persona non grata, and I need to fix that. I need to work on that. Yeah. Yeah. I really like Rob Noor a lot. It's unfortunate. I've tried to get him on the show a couple of times. He seems to be very, very busy. So I need to get him set up. Did I see the story about Hamas grid? They were celebrating when they handed dead baby. Yeah, I did see that. That was gross. It was really terrible, Mr. Mister. That was absolutely horrible. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that. I want to get into it. I'm not going to get into it. So I guess kind of what I was. So all right. So you guys, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to put this out there, because I think this is an interesting dynamic. Most people may not. And I've got a bad headache. It's really hard for me to concentrate right now. I need to, probably need to go get some ibuprofen or something. Hey, YouTube police, how are you? Welcome into the show. It's not as good as it started out to be a good show, but I've been blindsided by a headache. I may have to log off for a few minutes. I may have to log off early if this doesn't get better. Unfortunately, I don't have anything out there. I don't have anything in here to take care of it. Yeah, I'm pretty hydrated, but we'll see. Pop up a video and get some meds. I should. Nah, it's all right. I mean, it's fine. Oh man, fuck. We're only 1 hour in and 3 hour show. Let's see. Emergency foods, maybe. Yeah, I think it's really just a weather change has just really caught me out. I don't have any videos to run through, guys. I apologize. That's all right. Dude, guys, it's good. It's good. It's okay. It's okay. Probably what I'll do, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably end the show early, and then I will resume the stream maybe around 6 o'clock. I don't normally stream Thursday nights, but maybe I'll resume the stream maybe around 6 or so or something like that. And maybe that's the thing to do here. Because the problem is it's the headaches, the way my headaches work, it makes it a little hard to concentrate. Your headache. Yes, my dog. My dog is my dog's down to like 60 pounds, but she still thinks she's a lap dog. So, which is really funny. Probably not jet lag, but I did drive all day Monday, and I haven't really slept. So, what I'll do, guys, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, end this stream a little early. I'll be back. I'll probably fire up around 6 my time, and probably it's 1 o'clock now. Probably like 5 hours. I'll go get some. McConnell announced he's retiring. That's awesome. I didn't see that. What kind? I have a husky. You guys want to see? Let me see. I can probably. I have a husky, and it thinks that it's a very much smaller dog than it actually is. So, and it really believes that it fits in my lap. So, all right. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to. Also, I've noticed that my even though my readers are progressive, it may be time for my prescription to change because I notice that when I wear them, my eyes hurt. Trump's been roasting everybody, guys, not just McConnell. I mean, Trump has been hammering it out. That's awesome, Raging Patriot. I just got that. That's fun. That's awesome. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock now, guys. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop off. I'll be back at 6 o'clock my time. It's about 5 hours, and then that'll be ahead of. And it may not be exactly 6 o'clock. Watch for the updates in Discord and Facebook and wherever the fuck else you get that. And maybe I'll go on Sarah's panel or something like that tonight. So we'll still have him for a while. Yeah, that's true. And other than that, it started out to be a really good show, guys. I'm sorry. I just, for whatever reason, my head is killing me. It makes it hard to focus on what I'm trying to do. So I'll be back around 5 or so. In the meantime, let's see if there's anybody on where I can send you fine folks to. And has anybody noticed that Brett Cooper is back, by the way? Anybody notice that? I barely did. I hadn't really thought about Brett Cooper being back. But I was on the intraweb the other day, and sure enough, there's Brett Cooper, and she's acting like everything's just fine. Everything's cool. So yeah. So I think I'm going to send you guys over to Jim Bob. I think that's what to do. So give me that. Maybe I can. The ladies are better looking. That's fine. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's very funny. I was actually really surprised, by the way, that I was somewhat surprised that Chris Lestrange didn't wander in so we could talk to him about the things going on in South Africa since he lives there. So, it'd be all right. Oh, by the way, guys, when I was out in, and we'll talk more about this evening, when I was out at DebateCon, made a lot of good contacts. We're going to have Jake the Rattlesnake on. I'm going to have No Fugazi on at some point. We got some stuff going. Got some stuff going down. So, but yeah, I'm going to send you guys over to the Jim Bob man. You guys, I'm going to go probably lay down for a few minutes and get some water. I will hydrate. Thank you very much for that. And I will be back later. I apologize. I don't normally end streams early because my noggin is broken, but today it is the case. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you this evening.